with CineMilled with the new Pan Counterweight mount for the Ronin 2. And so really excited because, you know, the cool thing about the Ronin 2 is really that you can put really large cameras and much heavier setups on the Ronin 2. The motors can handle it, you know. So as you can see here today, we have a full-size Alexa XT, which is the heavier version, with a PL lens, two focus motors or two lens motors, and matte box with filters in it. And you know, and so what happens is, yes, you can fit it all in there, but you're quickly going to run out of pan adjustment on the pan axis. There's obviously still a couple things missing from this setup. You know, we're not really ready to shoot yet, so essentially there's more weight that's going to go on the gimbal. So, and we are already maxed out. So the pan axis is definitely the most important axis to get balanced correctly, and this is why we have come out with our Ronin 2 Pan Counterweight mount, accessory mount for the Ronin 2. And it just clamps around the pan bar here, and you can mount it wherever you want. I mount it a little bit lower, and so gives me more room, doesn't cover up the screen on the back of the Ronin 2. And so, yeah, of course, like right away, what you can do is you can take any one of our counterweights and screw it into the mount, or you can, if you purchase the CineMilled Universal battery plate, instead of adding just dead counterweight, you can actually add a battery plate that we also sell and attach it to the universal battery plate. And then you can either mount that horizontally on the back of the Ronin, and it still does not cover up any of the buttons or the screen, or you can move it to the side and mount it on the side, and it still gives you enough room on either side of the plate for the battery and maybe even a video transmitter. So the HD transmitter, sometimes it's hard to find a place on the camera body. You can always mount it here on the universal battery plate. But essentially you're just trying to put weight on the pan axis. So you might as well make it useful weight and actually take weight off of the other motors that are panning, that are tilting, and the roll motor. And so you can put it on the pan axis. Now, one of the other advantages, you know, I'm doing a lot of vehicle testing because we have the new CineMilled action arm almost ready to hit the website, so you guys can order it. But so we've been on vehicles a lot, and one of the things we noticed, as stiff as they made this Ronin 2, you can get into situations where you're actually getting flex and vibration from the pan arm, especially when you have a really heavy setup like this with counterweights on the pan arm. And so it's always beneficial to make this arm as short as possible. So even if you don't have a really big build like this, even if you have a lighter setup like my Eva, I always leave this mount on my pan arm because I find it useful for a lot of different things. So even with the lighter setup, I sometimes will run the weight so that I can really shorten the pan arm distance as much as possible to reduce any sort of flex. It actually makes the whole pan arm much stiffer. As you know, the shorter you make something, the stiffer it gets. And the other reason is the shorter you make this, the closer you can get the gimbal to your body. So, and that's really helpful. So, you know, the pan counterweight mount, you can get it by itself. As an option, you will see the option to get the battery mount, and then also the battery plates that go on the battery mount. You can get V mount or gold mount. We have a premium, and we have a standard version. It's just different options on the amount of power outs on the side of the battery plate. And you know, when you do buy the universal battery plate, you can get the male gold mount studs on it so that you can use it for other things. But yeah, that is just a quick overview. There's no real need to get in depth. It's pretty straightforward. This allows you to mount counterweights that we make, or by using our plate, you can mount batteries on the pan axis. One last thing that I've seen some people do that's actually a really interesting concept is, since we have both a 1/4 20 and 3/8 threads here on the pan axis, I've seen people mount their operating monitor on the pan arm, and since it turns when you're in smooth track mode, it turns with you. Essentially, you have the monitor always facing your body. It's just another place you can mount the monitor. It's interesting. Once again, if you put the monitor back here, it's going to add a little bit of weight. You're going to shorten the distance. You can get the gimbal a little closer to your body. So, really cool option. I'm really excited to finally get this out there and put it in your hands. And so, if you have any questions, just comment below on the video, and I'll do my best to answer them. Sometimes I can't get to them right away, but I always do want to get back to you guys. And feel free to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We always announcing and posting pictures that you guys let us share with the world, so you guys can see what other people are doing with our products. Might give you a really interesting idea. And we do have a CineMilled Facebook user group now that's more active every day, and that's another place where we can answer your technical questions. And it gives you a chance for other people to, especially if I'm not available, to jump in and answer the question for me, because we have a very experienced user base that hopefully you'll be a part of soon. So anyways, thanks for all the support, and let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks a lot, and I'll see you around on set. Thank you.